Yeah, she was like, "You're so helpful," and I was like, "It's part of the name," and I dropped the link for the podcast.
All right, good morning, everybody. We are live.
We are live and ready to go. So, thank you for your patience. Couple of technical glitches. We've said it before. Great in the garden. We are not the technology. We're not the helpful technologizers.
Wow.
We're the helpful gardeners. Helpful gardeners. Um, Wow, what a day in Calgary. It's only 10:30 and already it is warm as toast. That sun is shining. I got a feeling there's going to be a couple of people waking up tomorrow with sore muscles and maybe sunburn. Sore muscles, acceptable. Sunburn, wag of the finger. Okay? If you're going out in the garden, we talk about this. This isn't what it's about. Make sure you hydrate, wear a hat, SPF, take breaks. Okay? Look after yourself. It's still April. We got a lot of gardening left to do. We don't need to be getting sunburns and fatigue at this stage of the game.
No, that's not cute.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, where's your, like, Brandy today came in, and I'm going to go off camera here for a second, and Brandy was wearing her excellent jaunty hat, and it was okay. Bam, that's out of the way. Good morning. I've got my tea. I hope you have your coffee. You know what? If you're not working, you're going to do some gardening. Hey, I don't care if you're starting with a beer. But we're going to talk about sustainable gardening. Subject that's near and dear to my heart. Um, at the end of the day, gardening is an industry. There is an industrial side of it, and because of that, there's packaging and there's pots and there's things, and there is waste and there is kind of this residual thing left over. Brandy and I were talking, and I have these out for another reason, but every year we find piles like this thrown at our doors. Just kind of, maybe they weren't thrown, they probably put there, but the wind in Calgary blows them across. We can do what you can do with them, which is basically throw them away. But when you've got them, I have a pile like this in my garage that's probably this tall. It's all stacked very nicely, and it's all of the pots I use. So if you look, this pot was a plant that literally we used. It's still got the price sticker on it. I will absolutely put another one of my propagations in that pot. So giving all of our pots, all of our seedling trays, our bamboo. Yes, I keep my ties. Okay, these ties were great when I needed them. I believe I used them for my tomatoes 2 years ago, but the bamboo and the ties are great. I will reuse this. Takes up very little space. I put it away, and then when I need it, I have it again. So I'm saving money. I'm not having to buy things. In a pinch, in an emergency, I've got something handy to use. And that's what we're looking at. And there's also upcycling. We've talked about this before. Say you go out, perfect time of year to do our pruning and whatnot. And we go out, maybe you take a couple of big tree branches down, use them as plant support, use them as a trellis, lean them up against something and let your peas climb them. There's all kinds of things. You got an old bicycle, clean it, take the chain off, get all of the oil off it, hang it on the fence, hang pots off it, use it as a trellis. All different ways we can upcycle and reuse all of these things in the garden. And I'm the king of it. And the way I started wasn't necessarily because I wanted to. It was a number of years ago, and I was doing something, and I needed a certain size pot. I think I was propagating. I didn't have one. Next day at work, I came in and bought one, and then after that, I said, I'll keep them. If they get too much, I weed out the bad ones. I keep the good ones. But, I've had people visit my house when I've had plants propagating, and they're like, oh my God, I love all of your plants. Hey, do you want one? They go, yeah. Takes me a couple of minutes. I've run out to the garage. I've got a pot. I've got soil. Bam, bam, bam. And they're leaving with a plant. So having all of these tools, just to show you the level I go to, and you don't have to go to this level, I keep these. Yep. So I use these. Don't remember what I grew in them. All I have to do is rehydrate that and stick a seed in it.
Wow.
Yep. So the inserts. And then another thing I think we can do as well is understand what goes in what bin. When it comes to sustainability, and we work closely with the city of Calgary. When they started the compost program, they actually came to talk to us to help. Not they didn't need our help in getting the program going. They've got experts who do logistics for that kind of thing. But they wanted our help to reach out and help educate Calgary on what couldn't go in the bin. Now they constantly refresh as new things happen, but all kinds of stuff can go in the bin. Paper towel tubes, bits of cardboard. You throw out little bits of cardboard in your recycling bin, it's not getting recycled. You put it in the compost, it will get composted. So understanding what we're putting in what bin, is it recyclable? Is it garbage? Is it compostable? Where are we putting those items? Is a big deal. So I find that one of the easiest things we can do. Springtime, we get a ton of annuals in these pots. We buy them, we take them home. Okay, we pot them. Well, maybe next year you're starting from seed. And we're going to talk about seeds in a little bit. You've already got a pot after you've germinated it in your tray. You now have a pot. So all kinds of good things we can do there. And while we're talking, so one of the things I'm absolutely going to talk about here, but I really want anybody who's interested in this part to reference the webinar we did last week. I believe it's on our YouTube, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And that is healthy soil. Okay, so two other things, and they kind of go hand in hand for sustainable garden practices is healthy soil and watering. And a healthy soil, we want a living soil. I'm talking about in our garden. I'll talk about in our pots in a second. And that means amending it. That means adding organic material to it. Compost, manures, coir, peat moss, all of those good things that we are going to put into our soil to make it a healthy, living, vibrant soil. We can add charcoal, thank you, Brandy. And we got some really fun things here that Brandy just went and grabbed. These are, you work in a garden center when you open up the fridge and there's like my smoothie and some worms. But you want to add that, and maybe your soil isn't great. Maybe you haven't amended it for a couple of years. You've been busy. You've just moved in. Whatever. Get some help. Get some compost worms. Okay. These guys are amazing. So the Red Wiggler. I talked to some friends of ours. Another company that does worm castings. An amazing amendment. And red wigglers are the most voracious eaters. These will not be suitable for putting in pots. They will not be suitable for very tall raised planters. They need to go in the earth. When it gets really hot during the day, they go deep. guys. You made your big TV debut. We'll sign some autographs later. Actually, I had them on TV. I had Adriana, our good friend from CTV, holding a big handful of them. She is not squeamish. She's awesome. But let's get that soil healthy. It makes our plants grow better. It helps sequester carbon, holds more water. And when we're looking at our pots, and this is, I'm the guy who I have a ton of soil. I have access to soil. When I leave work, I can grab some soil on my way out the door. It's very easy for me to get soil. I know for some people it's more difficult. You can reuse the soil in your pots. Just jazz it up a bit. It's going to be tired from growing your tomatoes, your flowers, peppers, whatever you grew in it. So you're going to want to put in some worm castings, some volcanic mineral, maybe just a little skiff of potting soil, mix it up, get it nice and loose again. But you can reuse that soil as well. It doesn't have to constantly be new every year. You can. So always pull out the plants. The plants, the annuals, they're not coming back. Take out that first kind of layer of soil where they were, so you've kind of got a clean place to start. So this obviously would be a bigger plot, but now your soil level might be here instead of completely gone, which means you only need half the soil. And then you dig all of that old soil that's in the bottom, dig that up, mix it in the pot with it, plant, and away you go. And you can do that pretty much forever. If for whatever reason, 1 year, you've done this for 4 years, and the 5th year, your tomatoes don't do as good, maybe then it's time to dump it and go totally fresh and start again. But that's still, 3, 4, 5 years that you've reused a soil. And that's why it's so important to look at all of these things, because we are looking at being sustainable, limiting our usage. The bags that soil come in, I love them. So when I'm done and I have my soil bags, I keep those as well because they come in very handy. A regular garbage bag is absolutely atrocious for putting in big heavy rocks that I need to get rid of. They just tear through them, whatnot. Those bags, I use them for storage, anything heavy, anything I need to clean out, anything that might be sharp. They're great for broken glass. Wrap them up. So there's all different kinds of things we can do. The bags come in very, very handy. So watering practices. Again, last week we did an entire episode dedicated to watering practices. So I'm just going to talk very quickly on that. Is use things like soaker hoses, use things like root feeders, use fabrics, mulches, straw. Let's protect that water. Amend the soil. 1% organic material. This was University of Utah, I believe. 1% organic material can help soil moisture capacity. 1 square foot, so 12 inches, 12-inch cube of soil can help it retain 2 liters of water. Huge, especially in an environment like Calgary where we can get dry. If you're not sure about water, invest in a moisture meter. Okay, these are $12, $13. You stick it in and it's going to tell you if you're wet or if you're dry, so you're not overwatering and you're not underwatering. You don't look and go, oh, I think it's wet. Top looks a little bit wet. It can be wet, just maybe there's a dew point. And this much of the surface is wet. The roots have nothing. You stick this in, it tells you it's dry. Or the top part looks dry. You stick this in, it tells you it's saturated. So this will help you learn best watering techniques. And also, a lot of these things as well, the one resource we never, ever, ever get a chance to get more of is our time. Okay, so if you can learn, oh my God, I've been watering every day and I only needed to do it every other day, we just saved you some time that you can then use to sit on the couch and watch Netflix.
Yay!
Bam! Work lazier, not smarter. I think that's how I do the saying anyway. But that's what we're looking for. And then I want to talk about seeds. I know as gardeners, a lot of us enjoy growing from seed. I have some hot peppers going in my office. Last year I didn't do anything. A couple of years ago, I did tomatoes. Normally I do my tomatoes, pick a couple of different varieties, have fun with them. But we don't have to constantly be coming and buying. If you find a pepper that you really love. It can be a bell pepper, a Carolina Reaper, and it did amazing for you. It grew well, it was resistant to everything, made it through the hail, whatever adverse conditions, and it produced. Keep those seeds. We're ripping the seeds out and throwing them in the compost bin anyway. We're not doing anything with them. Store them. It's not hard. It's just a matter of cool, dry location. Let them naturally dry. Don't put them in a dehydrator. Don't artificially dry them. Don't leave them moist. They will start to rot. A lot of times, what people will do is paper towel on the bottom, seeds on that, paper towel on the top, cool, dry location. A week, they're normally dry enough. You store them. Next year, you're planting them. Things like tomato seeds, where they're really in the flesh and the mush, can be a little bit harder. Sunflower seeds are a lot easier. You take the dead sunflower, you give it a couple of whacks, you have seeds. So look at it. And we were talking to our good friend Nick Shipley.
Yeah.
Is it Nick? It was a great podcast episode. If you haven't seen it, I recommend watching it. And he's from Hartal Homestead.
Yeah, Diamond Valley.
Diamond Valley. Great guy. That was a hard edit for Brandy on the podcast because we could have talked to Nick, and he said the same. He could have talked to us for easy another hour and a half. We were having so much fun talking about, as we do everything, digressing, talking about traveling and whatnot. But Nick grew these, and these are kidney beans.
Yes, they are.
And he harvested these beans, and it took him 7 years. It took him 7 years to get these beans, where he knew that every year that he planted them, they kept coming back stronger. They kept coming back better. And after 7 years, he's like, they grow amazing. They grow like a regular bean made for the Calgary conditions. Because he found one plant that did quite well, and he just kept using those seeds, and he developed it, and that plant is now doing amazing. So look at harvesting our own seeds again. If every year you want to try a different tomato, and any of these practices, and we always talk about this, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. Okay, maybe you're going to amend your garden bed and you're going to put some worms in, but for your pots, you want brand new soil every year. Not a problem. Guilty. I do that. Maybe you want to do all of them. Maybe you're like, ooh, so far no tips for me. I don't really want to gather seeds. I don't have the time. But there might be something you can do. Something as easy as keeping your bamboo sticks. If every year you have to stake it up, take them down. You can even use the ties, to go back to that. I'm a little more chaotic, but you can even use the ties to tie your bamboo sticks together. So there's all different small, if we all make small differences, it makes a massive overall impact. None of this is, you have to gather your seeds. I know not everybody has the time. I normally don't gather my sunflower seeds because they're an amazing food source for the birds at the end of the year. So if I grow sunflowers, I let the birds have at them, and then the next year I'll just get more seeds. So it is whatever. I'm taking the seeds to grow my sunflowers, but I'm denying the birds because I'm going to talk about wildlife sustainability in a second. But I'm like, no, not your food, mine. And I take it, so maybe I take some and leave some out for them. The other thing that's key, and I've been wanting to do something big on this for a long time, and this year we are. Stay tuned to our social media. Very soon we're going to be announcing something very exciting. We're partnering with a number of nonprofit organizations, City of Calgary, the Heart Society, Green Calgary, and we are sponsoring a day. We're donating hundreds of plants with our good friends, Ecologic Horticulture, and these are all native plants. These are southern Alberta native plants, grasses, perennials, and shrubs, and we are donating them all to the city. A lot of these plants are heavily endangered, critically endangered, and we're trying to bring them back. Now, we're trying to bring them back because we love plants and we're colossal nerds and we don't like hearing that one is suffering, but we're in Alberta. These plants have grown here for millennia. Like, they are designed. The reason there is life in this province is because of the plants that are in this province. The Chinooks have been happening since the mountains and the oceans were there, which is a lot longer than me. These plants developed to withstand those conditions. So bringing in hardy native plants to increase our biodiversity is essential. When we bring in the grasses, there's a famous picture, and I'm going to Google it. I should have been more prepared. Show me a picture of a native prairie grass versus an agricultural crop root system. Okay, I'm going to go to images, and then I'm going to open the image, and I'm going to turn my brightness up. I have no idea how this is going to look. So you can see the little red circle is an agricultural root system, and that grass, that is the root system. So 6-7 foot long. Those roots establish, they lock in the soil, they help the other plants. These grasses also form tufts. They make it amazing for our native pollinators. Excuse me, our native pollinators and our native birds to come in. They're a ground for insects. They're also more resistant to drought and disease and other pests. Again, they have withstood these conditions, so they're ready for it. They can take what comes, and they're helping us. So when we plant other plants, we may plant our a very popular one grown here in Calgary, zucchini. Anybody who's grown zucchini knows that you're probably going to be fighting powdery mildew. Powdery mildew falls into pathogen pest category. So we get aphids, we get powdery mildew. Now we need to start looking at our biocontrols. Can you grab the nematodes out of the fridge? Our other friends? So we have more friends in our fridge. Thank you, Brandy. When we start augmenting with native plants, so these native plants, they play very well with others. Again, it's not all or nothing. Everybody who knows me knows I love my flowers. I love my bright colors. I love my annuals. I love my sunflowers. I am going to plant them, but I'm going to plant them alongside native plants, because both of them, I can have both. I can have my color and my enjoyment and move on with it. So what Brandy has there, what she just brought me, are leafcutter bees. So these are live bees. Okay, and I'm going to open them. No, they are asleep. As I said, on our fridge downstairs, we're going to look at covering it so that the bugs stay cooler. It's like live bees. And I was like, oh wait, nobody would open the fridge.
No.
So I'll let Brandy hold them, because I know Brandy isn't scared of them. But it's okay. Oh wait, look.
Oh. What?
One of the little girls has woken up.
Oh, you can hold that one.
Okay. So can you see her walking towards the camera?
No. Sorry. It's kind of weird.
I know, and I don't want to tap her out. Come here, sweetheart. Come here. Nice warm hand for you. Is that your sleeping bag?
Here. Yeah.
Yeah. So there she is.
There we go.
There she is. She's going walkabout. And
And
then we'll show it here. Brandy directing me.
so sweet.
Yeah. Hey, good morning. So, as you can see, I am not worried. I have held countless bees. She's not going to do anything. She's just waking up. We're going to see if she wants to go back to sleep. But these bees, nope.
Oh no.
She's just a regular baby. She's like, I'm awake. So what we will do is we'll keep an eye on her. And we will probably take her downstairs and put her on some flowers and give her some breakfast. So do we have something we can, there we go. You gotta live somewhere not so comfortable, sweetheart. So we're gonna put her in here so that she doesn't get hurt. And then we're going, and of course, animals and children will always make life harder. Come on. Nope. Now you're going to go there. Okay, I'm going to let her do her thing. I want to get the other bees back in the fridge, though.
Oh, I see.
There we go.
Okay, got it.
Okay, we can get them back in the fridge.
Okay.
So these bees are essential for pollination. For example, the mason bee will pollinate 95% of the plants it visits, as opposed to the honeybee that pollinates 5%. So releasing these bees, we have mason bees as well. I just grabbed leaf cutters because I was busy, but releasing these bees in our garden is incredible. It is such a good resource to help our plants. She's just hanging there for now.
Okay, well,
She's just my buddy now.
It happens.
Yeah, she's just my pet. What would I name it? Beatrice. And that's why we use these. And then when it comes to other pests, so this is for the good of our pollination, for our peppers, our tomatoes, what have you, our zucchini that we talked about. Then we look at other pests, our biocontrols. Now, I have a chemical spray. Absolutely. If I'm going to use a chemical spray, this is the one I'm using. It's soap. Okay, there's nothing bad on here. When I was landscaping, I would occasionally use this to get the grunge off my hands before I ate. It's not designed for that, but it is a soap, so it did work. Oh, no, you don't. Okay. You're being a real pest, not a bad
Oh,
pest.
there we go.
There we go. Come on, sweetie. Nope. All right. So now we want to look at what we can do to take care of our problem bugs, because the thing is with a chemical spray, if I have a stem covered in aphids and I spray this, it will kill all the aphids it hits. There's no way I'm going to hit all of them. It's just impossible. Even if I miss 5%, that is going to be a huge problem. So then we're going to release something that's even better. Right now, and we don't have them in yet, we will have live ladybirds, but right here, and I can't use two hands because I've still got my friend hanging with me, I have a praying mantis egg cocoon. So this egg cocoon will release, I believe it's about 150 to, there you go. What's that? Nice, okay, we got her.
Okay.
We got her, the bee wranglers. One of those egg sacs will release about 150 to 180 praying mantis. And they will go, you can just leave her in here, Brandy.
That's okay.
Yeah, she's fine.
Okay.
She's covered now. And then we'll put her downstairs and we'll give her some pollen and some water.
Okay.
Yeah, she's awake now.
Yeah.
I love bees. I would have hung out with her all day, but anyway. Praying mantis are an amazing generalist predator, to the point that if you hatch them in here and they don't have a food source, they will eat each other. That's how voracious they are, that's how hungry they are. And I love this because what a great activity for kids. You can put this in your garden, they can hatch, the kids can watch them, and then you can let them go. These praying mantis get about that big, and they'll kick some butt in the garden. Then we've got our good old friendly nematodes. And the reason why I love all of these insects, these worms, earthworms, the reason why I love them is just like the plants I was talking about. These nematodes have been around for millions of years, and they have developed very, very specialized. This one, its entire job is to eat birch leaf miner. It will not hurt that bee. It will not hurt me or Brandy or Jimmy. Won't hurt kids. It won't hurt anything. It won't even hurt other bugs. But it's a sad day for the birch leaf miner when you release these guys. And unlike a spray where I have to look and I have to spray my plant and did I get everywhere, bugs, I release them and I go, have at her. They're going to find what they're looking for. They are going to hunt. That is their purpose. So, can you throw them back in the fridge for me? Thank you so much. That is what they do. And we can do other things as well. Again, we can stay away from the chemical sprays. Nobody is really a fan of wasps. They absolutely have a purpose. We need them. But hanging things like this, it looks quite pretty. It's got a hole in the bottom, a lip there. We pour something in there, something sweet. Wasps are very partial to meat. Somebody told me that putting in like Pepsi or apple juice and chunks of meat, the wasps can't get enough. They fly in through there, can't figure out how to fly back out. Every once in a while, you dump it, you clean it, you hang it back up. You got a beautiful display, and you're getting rid of wasps. If you don't want to kill the wasps, because they are essential, we do need them. Hang hang up a waspinator. These work so well. My neighbor has one in the tree. My sister has one. I don't know if my neighbor's tree is the reason I haven't needed one because I don't get a lot of wasps. Wasps are fiercely territorial. You hang this in the tree, the wasps see it and they go, oh, there's already a nest here, and they leave. I know people take these along on picnics. Okay, so they're not bothered by wasps. They hang it about where they're going to picnic. The wasps see it and they leave the area because it looks like a massive nest, and they're like, we don't want any part of that. So these are really, really good tools to prevent the problem coming to us in the first place. Something else I want to talk about as well is I use my gardening for a couple of things. I use it because I love it, to grow food. The flowers are good for my soul. It's good for my mental health. I find it very cathartic. I also use it for exercise. I'm old school. I don't power rake. I don't like power raking. I like one of these. Okay, an old school rake. I might have to do a couple of passes, but I use it. And it comes down to it. And I was reading about this because I know it can, again, I'm just going to touch on this. You know, nothing we're saying here is to guilt anybody for doing it. I know people who are terrified of wasps and they're going to use a spray. Have at it. If you're that scared or you're allergic, I know people who are allergic to bees. There's no way they're going to put a bee on their finger or release 40 of them into their yard. I understand that. If I was allergic to peanut butter, I'm not going to go to a PB&J. Wow.
Wow.
Peanut butter and jam restaurant. I'm going to stay away from it. So again, none of this is like, you should do what I'm doing because I'm awesome. But a little bit of elbow grease instead of everything being gas powered. Maybe some electric instead of gas powered. Maybe some elbow grease, electric, and gas power. We can have harmonious blends. It doesn't all have to be one thing. I really, really do not like gas-powered leaf blowers. How loud they are, how much they rev, how fast they burn gas and oil together. Fun fact, since we're talking about sustainable gardening, lawns, residential lawns in Canada. This is a number of years ago. I actually will read this stat again. I don't believe it's changed. But residential lawns were the #1 cause of greenhouse gas emissions because a lawnmower has no catalytic converter. Most of them are two-stroke engines, so you pour gas and oil in together. It's burning it. You fire up your lawnmower, you see that blue smoke coming out. Now, your lawn might be small, but you think about how many lawns there are across Canada, and it adds up. So, again, these are simple changes. Maybe you cut your lawn every 2 weeks. You let it get a little bit long. Maybe you use something like clover, okay? And you put that down, and then our bee friends are happy. You're not watering it as much. You're not cutting it as much. And we're getting all of these wins. So much of it all ties in, and we can have a lot of fun doing it. And then the other thing, and I think I've already established that I'm a bit of an animal nut. Is she doing okay?
Yeah, I just wanted to get some air in there.
I just want to get some to be this big in a container.
It stopped moving.
It's okay.
So I'm a little scared.
You're wafting it. She's probably mad because you put a fake flower in. Where was it? Oh, right. I was literally talking about how much I love animals. So I'm very much a fan of, if something isn't trying or eating my garden, I'm not part of the ecosystem, and I want to be part of the ecosystem. I let the birds help themselves. I let the squirrels help themselves. I won't even go out and spray aphids if I've only got a couple, because hopefully the ladybirds are knocking around, and they'll come and help me out. I try and maintain a balance as much as I can. Yes, sometimes I need help. Sometimes I do need a spray. Sometimes I do need to release more predator bugs. But I try and look at what I can do and how I can help. And every animal, including our, little black and yellow buzzing friends and our feathered friends, need water, especially in Calgary. And you can get some beautiful ornate bird baths. I didn't bring one upstairs because they're made from cast stone. And I'd be like doing this podcast like, I'd have the sore muscles tomorrow. So instead, I brought a tabletop.
Perfect.
The thing I love about this, it's deep enough. It can be a bird bath. They can sit on the edge. But this can also work for your pollinators. All you need to do is take some river stone, fill it up, fill it with water, and then the bees, the butterflies, they'll land on the stone, and then they can get water. And you keep topping it up. For the birds, this will work fine. If I was doing it, I'd probably put a little rock right in the middle so they had a couple of layers, a little moat, and they could splash around in it. Two of these, one for the pollinators, one for the birds. And once we have water, animals start to come. And if you really want to encourage them, you can even get a small fountain. The sound of running water, the birds will hear that and they will come looking for it. It's why I live right next to Confederation Park. Confederation Park has that little brook that runs through it, and there's a little waterfall there. It is always filled with birds. That park is always filled with birds. So, speaking of that, this morning I was up early and I heard the birds dead quiet, sitting on the couch drinking a coffee. There was some soccer games on, so I was reading all of the news about that and what was coming up. And I think it was about 4:15. I heard the first birds starting to sing.
Aww.
And I was like, oh, I missed that. It was great. It just, I was like, I love this time of year. But putting out water, little fountain, get the running water going, then put out baths for them. They will come. And once they know that you're a source of water, they'll be singing, their friends will come, and hey, presto, now we are starting to develop a healthy, balanced system. Birds, they'll eat seeds, they will eat weed seeds, they will eat bad bugs. That is what they're doing. Again, these are their food sources. You want to encourage them a bit more. You can put up a feeder. So this one, I picked it specifically, is for sunflower hearts. Now you can buy this, or you can grow sunflowers and harvest your own. So again, you can be sustainable with feeding the birds year round. Grow an entire rip of sunflowers, all different sizes, jam them all in, have this amazing thing. It's going to be so good for your soul. You're going to love it. At the end of the year, harvest them, dry them, fill this. Hey presto, you have an activity. The kids can do it. You can see what birds are coming to your feeder. You can eat some. So much wind going on there. You keep 30, 40, 50, you do it again next year. So you constantly have this cycle going, and it becomes a really, really fun activity. Another thing animals are looking for is shelter. Birds, probably the easiest. You can get ones that are made of wood. The internet is filled with plans, so you can look at that. If you get wood, get some water paints, Crayola, whatever, as long as it's, you know, non-toxic and safe. Let the kids decorate them, make them bright, make them colorful, hang them where the birds are going to go. When they see it, they will start going there. So, good place to start is our good friend Myrna Perman. She has books on the subject. She works for Mother Nature's. We've interviewed her on the podcast. Really good resources on how to get birds into your garden. Here's the other thing. Leave some of the areas a bit more natural. We don't have to clean everything up. And Myrna taught me this. I was guilty of this. I see a dead branch on my shrubs, on my trees. I'm like, gotta prune it, gotta prune it, gotta clean it off. Myrna was the one saying, you do that, you're taking away a perfect position for the birds. The birds like the dead branches. They sit on them, they look around, they make sure there's no predators, they see the food, the water, and if there is a predator, they can deke back into the tree. If there isn't a predator, they know they're safe. Without that vantage point, it makes life harder for them. Light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, my God, I've always said, clean out your dead, clean out your dead, because I'm looking at the health of the plants. I'm not looking at the bigger picture. I learned that. 180 is what I tell people now. Clean out some of the dead. Okay, you've got 2 or 3 dead branches in the tree. They're not causing any problem. They're not danger. Nobody's going to take an eye out, and they're good for the birds. Leave them alone. That's what they're there for. So leave a natural area. Plant some shrubs, nice and tight and close together. Maybe that's where the bunnies are going to go. Maybe you'll get some skunks. Again, you don't have to have these animals. I had a skunk living on my property back in New Brunswick. Oh my God, I was so excited to see it. I had skunks living on my property in Montreal who skunked my dog. I was not excited. Everything comes with pros and cons. But skunks, they love to eat slugs and snails. They will go through the garden. So if you have a problem with that and you got skunks, okay, so there's all different ways. Like Brandy and I did we talk about so much of this stuff when we do our podcast. And I get it. We come out and the deer have eaten some of our plants. Raccoons have gotten into the garden and dug up all the tulips. Squirrels have ripped all of your buds off or they've stolen your tomatoes. I get it can be disheartening. It's happened to me. I've seen a squirrel sit on a tree, rip buds off it and throw them on the ground. It wasn't even eating them. It was just thug life tattooed on its little squirrel stomach. But they're part of the ecosystem. You know, we're in their territory. We have to learn to share. So always, we talked about the bins, knowing what goes in them. Make sure your bins are closed too. Having the bins open where we've got compost bags, garbage, surefire way to ask the coyotes to come around, the crows, the magpies. If you leave a compost bag on your, you knew I was going there. If you leave a compost bag on your stoop to put it out later and then forget about it, you'll have some very friendly black and white friends hanging around. Then you can blame the neighbors. That's a podcast episode. I'll let Brandy tell that story because she tells it better. But secure the bins. We want to bring in the beneficial ones. We don't want to, we're talking about all of this. And again, it's balance. I'm not leaving a natural area full of rotting, decomposing stuff that's going to be full of slugs and snails. I'm not leaving a half-dead tree that's going to start bringing mold and fungus into my garden. I'm not leaving my bins open because I want raccoons and coyotes around. We need to balance. We need to look and go, okay, this is what I want. How do I get there? What practices can I do? And I know for some people, wildlife can be a little scary. Wildlife can be a little intimidating. So again, no judgment. And then other thing I want to mention here, and then I'll wrap it up and see if we have any Q&A, is light pollution. And we don't think about it, and we like our lights and our night lights, and people have LEDs on their homes and their businesses and whatnot. Those lights can really dysregulate animals. Make sure you turn them off at night. When you go to bed, you don't need to run your lights. It's going to save you some electricity. It's going to save you power bill. And it's going to help. I don't like sleeping with a bright light on me. The animals are the same. If you do have lighting in your garden, maybe it's for security. I absolutely get that. Try to make sure it's down lighting. So I know it looks great when you have a light at the bottom and it's shooting up a big tree. Also means that the birds and the bats are not going to be visiting that tree. But if you take that same light, 180, and now it's casting down the tree, they're okay. So turning lights off, using motion sensor. The birds and the bats are going to be sleeping. So if your light is on the tree pointing up, you should be okay. There's things we can do that, when we look at it and we go, do I really need to run my LEDs at 2:30 in the morning? Probably not. Probably not. Nobody else is going to notice. Just turn them off. Put it on a timer. Right? I'm a lazy guy. All of my plant lights are on timers. Timers are a godsend to me. I just rearranged my whole office because I got a new light and a new growing kit, and I rearranged my whole office and chained everything together so that they would also be on timers, so I didn't have to touch them. So look at doing that. Small changes. I didn't used to save all my pots. I used to remove all of my dead stuff. I didn't know about putting out water for pollinators. These are things that I've learned along the way that I go, oh yeah, that's actually not that hard to do. It's a tiny, tiny change I can do, saves me money in the long run, helps our planet, helps make our gardens more, environmentally friendly, more part of the ecosystem, and it's just a win-win. So, I think I covered everything I wanted to there. If we have any questions, let's go.
No, we're actually good.
We're actually good, no questions.
You covered a lot, and it was awesome.
And we had a live bee.
And we had a live, yes, which we are gonna.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a video of us rescuing her, and we'll post it on our Instagram later. So check out that.
Yeah, Beatrice.
Yeah.
And we'll let her go. We'll find her somewhere quiet. She'll have something to eat. So these bees are solitary bees. I'm just going to quickly touch on that. They're solitary bees. She doesn't need a ton of friends around. She needs food, water, and somewhere to sleep. Hey, we got a lot of that downstairs for bees. So we'll go take care of her. I hope the rest of you enjoy your day. Bye, everyone.